Tropical Storm Harvey was set to unleash additional rain on Houston on Monday, worsening flooding that has paralyzed the country's fourth-largest city, where officials released more water from overwhelmed reservoirs in a bid to protect the downtown. About 13 million people are under flood watches and warnings stretching from Corpus Christi to New Orleans, CNN reported. At least 4 more days of rain are in store as Harvey is forecast to head back into the Gulf of Mexico, where it will absorb moisture before moving back over Galveston and Houston, according to CNN. Harvey, which made landfall Friday night as a Category 4 hurricane, sent devastating floods pouring into Houston on Sunday, chasing thousands of people to rooftops or higher ground. The death toll from the storm is 5, though the number of fatalities remains unclear as rescuers try to reach vehicles and residents stranded over a wide swath, the Houston Chronicle reported Monday. Residents living near the Addicks and Barker reservoirs, which were designed to prevent flooding downtown, have been warned that a controlled release of water would cause street flooding that could spill into their homes. Rising water levels and continuing rain was putting pressure on the dams that could cause a failure without the release. Harris and Fort Bend County officials advised residents to pack their cars Sunday night and wait for Monday morning to evacuate. The idea is to prepare, pack up what you need and put it in your vehicle, and when the sun comes up, get out, said Jeff Lindner, a meteorologist for the Harris County Flood Control District. And you don't have to go far, you just need to get out of this area. The Army Corps of Engineers started the reservoir releases before 2 a.m. Monday ahead of schedule because water levels were increasing dramatically at a rate of more than 6 inches an hour, a Corps spokesman Jay Townsend said. The timetable was moved up to prevent more homes from being flooded, he said. Meanwhile, officials in Fort Bend County, Houston's southwestern suburbs, issued mandatory evacuation orders along the Brazos River levee districts. County Judge Robert Herbert said at a news conference that the National Weather Service predicted that the water could rise to 59 feet, 3 feet above 2016 records in what Herbert called an 800-year flood level. He said that amount of water would top the levees and carries a threat of levee failure. Judging from federal disaster declarations, the storm has so far affected about a quarter of the Texas population, or 6.8 million people in 18 counties. The National Weather Service also warned that some parts of Houston and its suburbs could get as much as 50 inches of rain. That would be the highest amount ever recorded in Texas. The breadth and intensity of this rainfall is beyond anything experienced before, the National Weather Service said in a statement. Brock Long, director of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, predicted that the aftermath of the storm would require FEMA's involvement for years. This disaster's going to be a landmark event, Long said. Rescuers had to give top priority to life-and-death situations, leaving many people to fend for themselves. And several hospitals in the Houston area were evacuated due to the rising waters. Up to 1,200 people had to be rescued in Galveston County alone, said County Judge Mark Henry. Houston's George R. Brown Convention Center, which was used as a shelter for Katrina refugees in 2005, was quickly opened for Harvey victims. Gillis Leho arrived there soaking wet. She said she awoke Sunday to find her downstairs flooded. She tried to move some belongings upstairs, then grabbed her grandchildren. When they told us the current was getting high, we had to bust a window to get out, Leho said. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner said officials had received more than 2,000 calls for help, with more coming in. He urged drivers to stay off roads to avoid adding to the number of those stranded. I don't need to tell anyone this is a very, very serious and unprecedented storm, Turner told reporters. We have several hundred structural flooding reports. We expect that number to rise pretty dramatically.